Imagine feeding yourself for a week for only $20. Sound impossible? Well, today I'm gonna show you exactly how you can do just that, and more importantly, before we jump to that, why in the world it matters at all. If you have ever, for any reason, found yourself in a tight spot financially, it can feel overwhelming and very stressful to pay for the basics like utility bills, food, and putting a couple of gallons of gas in your car so you can get to work in the first place. Whatever the reasons, whatever the scenario, sometimes we just need some tips to help us make it to the next payday, the next grocery shopping trip, and in my daughter's case, the next time she can come to my house and steal my groceries as a college student. Without further ado, let's get cooking. Here's the entire haul for right at $20. I got everything from Walmart except for 2 items. And I'll tell you why right now. First of all, the cheapest oats, 16 ounce of oats I could find at Walmart was $1.98. At Dollar Tree, which was on my way home, was $1.25. Ditto with the peanut butter. I could get this crunchy peanut butter in a slightly smaller container for $1.25 versus $2 at my Walmart. And when it comes to eating for an entire week on $20, we need every penny to stretch. And I thought it would be really interesting to see if my husband has any ideas what groceries actually cost these days. So let's get his take.
What are you doing here?
Normally, I remember bananas being 39 cents a pound, so I'm guessing those are probably $1 or so.
Yeah, $1.08 for the bananas.
I would have guessed that potatoes would normally be this many potatoes of 5 pounds, about $1 to $1.99.
So normal price is about $2.50, but this was $1.
Okay, $1.20.
Okay.
It's a half a gallon.
So, I know, and it's generic. It's $2.12, but Fred Meyer has it on sale right now for $1.39.
Hey.
On sale. But so I would have to drive.
Yeah, I'm not terribly far off if on the sale price.
On the sale, yeah, it's $2.12.
Sausage like this, I would have guessed $1.39.
$2.94.
For generic sausage?
Generic sausage. This is...
But it is premium.
Is it? Oh, premium. It is a premium sausage. Yeah, wow. Very important.
I would have guessed 79 cents.
$1.
I would have also guessed about 79 cents to $1.
The cheese is $1.88.
The bean mixture, I would have guessed about $1.
So this is about 3. It's not even 2 pounds of beans. It does come with a spice packet.
Okay.
So which ones are really shocking to you?
This is shocking.
It was only maybe a year or 2 ago. I could get this for under $2. Breakfast for the entire week, we're gonna do overnight oats. So the morning of, we have basically no work at all. So in this container, I have 10 1-cup servings, which easily gets me through my 7 days of breakfast with a little bit left over. For my overnight oats, you can do pretty jars. I don't have that. I just have Tupperware containers. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna do like 2 at a time. I've got 3/4 of a cup, a little under, just a scant 3/4 of a cup into each jar. And I did whole milk for some extra calories, and it's gonna taste a lot richer. About 1/2 of a cup of milk into each one. If you're not a dairy fan, you could use whatever milk floats your fancy. And here's where my peanut butter comes in. Peanut butter. I freaking love peanut butter. It's one of my favorite things on the planet. It just smells so good. It's so salty. And for me, this is perfect because I prefer a much savory breakfast than a sweet breakfast. So the peanut butter kind of takes the sweetness down a notch. We're gonna go like 2 tablespoons. And it'll add a nice crunch because, I mean, there's peanuts in it because I got the crunchy one. I'm gonna chop up 1/2 of a banana. And if you have sugar around, you can totally add some sugar. I might do a little sprinkle of brown sugar because that's my favorite. So I've got maybe a teaspoon of brown sugar. Oops. And of course, did I dump it all over the counter? Yes, I did. Are you even cooking? If you can't, keep it in the bowl. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I want these bananas kind of like submerged a little bit. And of course, as they sit in the fridge, this oatmeal is gonna get really nice and soft. Lid on, you can pull them out in the morning. The only thing we're really doing to prep is to soak our beans overnight. And one of the reasons for this is, first of all, it makes cooking a lot easier. But secondly, is if you have a hard time digesting beans.
How about more beans, Mr. Taggart? I'd say you've had enough.
This is a great way to take care of that, is to soak it overnight, drain the water, and cook it with new water. So it should make eating beans much more comfortable. So don't forget to take out the spice packet. We'll use that tomorrow. I do want to do a quick check, make sure everything looks clean. Sometimes there could be a stone in here. These actually look really fantastic. And I will cover with cold water. I obviously have way too much water in here. You don't need this much. I just wanted to give it a lot of room to soak up as much of the water as possible. So I will leave this on the counter overnight. You can leave it for up to 24 hours. I'm not putting it in the fridge. I'm not covering it. I'm just leaving it on the counter. I've got 2 floating to the top. I'm gonna take those out. So that's literally it. That's the prep. So we'll set this to the side to soak and we'll see you tomorrow.
The next day.
I'm gonna be using a soup pot today. You could use any largish pot. You can use a crock pot. You can use an Instant Pot. It's whatever you have around. And we're gonna cook up our entire pound of sausage. No need to add any oil. There's fat in this. And this will be the dish that we can have every day for dinners or lunches. You can flip-flop them however you want. When you're on a super, super tight budget like this, unfortunately, there is not a lot of variety. So what's important is you make something that tastes really freaking good. At about this point, my onion is going in. This is 1 chopped yellow onion. And we wanna cook these until the pork is totally cooked through. You could also use a smoked sausage link sliced up. You could use a ham steak. You could use ham hocks. You can use a leftover ham bone from this past Easter that you kept and stuck in the freezer. Pull that out. You could use that instead. So if there's anything I'm showing you that you don't like, or you're like, oh, I can't find that, or I already have something and I want to go shopping again, feel free to substitute at your heart's content. In an ideal world, I would also be adding bell pepper and celery for the holy trinity, which is essential in all Cajun cooking. Remember, I did get the Cajun flavor of the 15 bean soup. But because we're on a super tight budget, we're sticking with this for now. Okay, we are nice and brown here, and don't worry about all those brown bits on the bottom of the pan. Those are delicious. We want this. I have my drained and rinsed soaked beans all going in just like this. The entire bean spice packet. And I am adding 2 chicken bouillons, although these are giant, so these are the equivalent of 4 cups. And enough water to cover. So I have an 8-cup measuring cup here, but I don't know how much I'm actually gonna need. Now these dried beans will soak up a lot of this water, so that's probably not enough. I'm gonna go the full 8 cups. Bring this up to a boil and then reduce to a simmer and cook until the beans are soft. What you don't want is a crunchy bean. Definitely not. You want it to be creamy and smooth. So on the stovetop, this should take about 1 to 2 hours. If you're in a crock pot, I would go 6 to 8 hours. Instant Pot obviously is a lot less than that. Also, if you happen to have bay leaves hanging around, I would add like 2 of those. Okay, this is about 2 hours of simmering. I really wanted to make sure all of the beans were cooked all the way through, and I did taste for seasoning. It's freaking bomb. This is so good. So I just cooked up some of my rice from that 2-pound bag of rice that I made. I did about half the bag. You can freeze half of it if you just don't want it to sit in the fridge for an entire week. And I could cook the rest of the rice later. So let's dish up and you can see what it looks like. So I have about 2 cups of cooked rice right here because I'm a hungry girl. What can I say?
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Are you dying? Okay, taste test time. It's kind of like a Cajun-esque chili. Flavors are popping, and this is so much food. This is like 4 cups of food right here. You will be full, you will be satisfied, and it's cold outside for me, so I'm loving the stew soup time of year. For our dinners for the week, you're gonna see these what is this, 5 ingredients turn into the most delicious potato cheese soup you've ever had in your life with the help of a handy dandy crock pot. So if you are busy and cannot be bothered, this one is for you. This is the exact recipe my mom made for me my entire life growing up. I have changed nothing in the original recipe, including using sliced cheese for the cheese. We're not shredding cheese. We're not using real cheese here. We're using American cheese. You American. And also notice it's the generic brand because we frugal up in here. I ended up only peeling half of the potatoes. So I have about 2.5 pounds of potatoes here and half the bag left over for next week. If I wanted, I could also make some nice hash browns for breakfast, baked potatoes at lunch. They're so versatile. And I will dice these along with my onion. Okay, in your crock pot, For the potato soup, I've got about 8 cups. The 2.5 pounds of potatoes was about 8 cups of potatoes, just diced bite size. I've got my 1 onion coming in. A nice rustic chop is fine. I'm coming in with 3 cups of water so far. I reserve the right to adjust that based on what I'm seeing. And I am gonna put in 2 of these bouillon cubes, which is the equivalent of 4 cups of broth. Violet says hello. All right, what do we think about this? I do want the water / broth to come up and barely cover the potatoes, barely. And I feel like I'm a hair under, but the onions will let out some juice. We'll add a little bit more. Another 1/2 cup, that looks better. 3.5 cups of water right here. This is it for step 1. Can you believe how easy this is? Lid on. At this stage, we will cook for low for 9 hours or high for 4 to 5 hours, your call. Okay, after the appropriate amount of time, this is what you will have. And to this, we are going to add 1 entire can of evaporated milk and our non-craft cheese slices. And here's the technique my mom showed me. We're gonna make, don't laugh at me, this is just the way my mom did it, so like I don't feel like a different way is correct, okay? Which I understand sounds ridiculous. And don't worry about this brown stuff on the outside, that'll clean right off once I clean this at the end. Okay, so we do like a layer like this. Maybe I can do one in the middle. Violet's coming in to help, and then we kind of like push all of that layer of cheese to the bottom. Okay, like a little stir situation, like that. Make sure it's all down and out of our way. And now we can do another layer. You probably don't have to do that. It's just, you know, when you're taught one way, that's just what you do, right? So let's get the rest of this cheese in here. All right, at this point, after this is stirred in, we'll put the lid on for another 30 minutes or so. Make sure all of this comes together. You could also add, like if you have like frozen broccoli hanging around you wanna get rid of, let's throw that in this. Bacon, you got bacon hanging around?
The maple kind, yeah.
Lid back on. Set your timer for 30 minutes. I'll see you back then. And if you would like it a little bit thicker than this, bring in one of these guys and just mash a couple of times. Okay, I'm gonna come in with some pepper because I love pepper. Don't breathe it in. Now, I don't mind eating the same thing day after day as long as it is this delicious. I don't think anyone should go hungry no matter their circumstance in life. If you need to feed more people, or you have $0 instead of 20 and you just need food, there are a ton of free resources available to you, and here's how you can find them. Number 1, you can go to your local community places of information. So you can go to city of whatever the city is, and they will know about local food pantries, local crisis centers, local senior centers, Meals on Wheels, veterans of foreign wars places. All of those exist to make sure nobody goes hungry ever. In addition to city of fill in the blank for your area, you could go to your local library, you could go to the school district, you could go to the sheriff's department. All of these places in your town will know of all of the resources available. Some of these you can't really find online because they're more of a local thing instead of broadcasted on the internet. And speaking of the internet, you can also use that. You can search at Feeding America's Locator, Food Finder online, and also findhelp.org. You can also dial 211 on your phone for assistance. My area alone has 8 services for people who need it, and many of them have no income requirements at all. If you would like other budget cooking videos, I will leave a couple of those down in the description box. And remember, salt and pepper go a really long way into making very basic budget-friendly foods taste delicious. If you know someone in your life that this video would be helpful for, go ahead and share it with them, and subscribe if you want more budget cooking content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. But wait, there's more. I know times are tight. That's what this whole video is about. I also wanted to share with you, if you have not visited your local library lately, please do so. The resource is already there. I just went to my library, hadn't been in a minute, and I was looking for some old Halloween movies that I couldn't stream anywhere, and they had a whole Halloween display. I rented 5 Halloween movies. We did Gremlins 1 and 2, okay? We did Abbott and Costello, Halloween special. Like, where are you gonna stream that anywhere? And if you're younger and your parents have never shown you Abbott and Costello, please go to your library, find one, and watch it. It is a great time. Also rented the original Ghostbusters. My daughter she's 21, has been claiming that she had never seen it. And I call cap on that one because we have played it at my house. All my sons know it. She's like, I've never seen Ghostbusters. Whatevs. I've totally played her Ghostbusters, regardless. We rented it. It was amazing. And I went over into the book section and I picked up a couple of books I'm pretty excited to read. I love books and I see them. They're all nice and pretty, like at Costco and at the Target, but you have to pay for them. And then when you are done, where do they go? Where did all the books go? I got The Girl on the Train, which I actually had never read before, so I'm super excited to dive into that. It's free. It's my favorite 4-letter word that starts with an F. Okay, Christine out.